Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Non-paranormal story thread. Looking for unsettling, creepy, terrifying stories of non-paranormal stories that have actually happened to you or someone else. I'll start. B14. At Christian summer camp. Stuck in cabin with another kid that was a bit off. Every night, Odd Kid and a few others pass a smoke around the cabin. Me not caring much and minding my own business. White Knight tells camp counselor. Odd Kid is pissed and makes threats to the camp after being kicked out. Odd Kid likes me. No fear of Odd Kid, so I thought. Odd Kid pulls me aside and says, "I'll be back later this week." Yeah. Okay, bruh. Later during the week. Be sleeping late at night in the cabin. Hear someone walking outside of the cabin. See Odd Kid. Nope.jpg. Don't get much sleep that night. Camp counselor comes in earlier than normal to wake us up and tells us to stay in our bunk area and to not leave or open the doors. I'm wondering what happened. Ignores camp counselor and opens bunk room door. See decapitated horsehead laying on the floor of the cabin. Too scared to say anything about seeing Odd Kid last night creeping. Camp doesn't think about Odd Kid doing horse murder. They have emergency prayers and think Satanist murdered horse for ritual. I remember when AIM was how kids communicated, and I remember having the kid added on my friends list. I messaged him and asked him about it, and he practically told me to never tell anyone and to leave him alone. Still creeps me out, and I'm 25 now.
This story comes from my uncle. Uncle was in his 20s. Uncle out driving late at night through a mountain in northwest Georgia known as Red Top. If we have any North Georgians in here, you can come and back me on how creepy this mountain used to be. Anyways, back to the story. Uncle driving through the main road that goes from Ackworth to Cartersville. Drives around a sharp curve on a road that is nearing the end of the mountain. Uncle is having a good time listening to tunes. Dafook. Man tied to a chair covered in blood yelling for Uncle to stop. Uncle grabs gun and stops the car to check on the injured man. Man has several lacerations across his body. Uncle says none seemed lethal, but he was bleeding like a stuck pig. Man is screaming for Uncle to get him out of there. Uncle calls the police and stays with the man until the cops come. Uncle hears something walking in the woods. Walking gets closer. Uncle fires a few shots in general direction to let stalkers know to fuck off. Many footsteps running back into the woods. Uncle finds out that a cult is in the area and has been ambushing hikers on trails for the past few months. Trail near the area was closed down for investigated murder several months later. I don't know if the area has gotten any better, but I haven't heard of anything in recent years. What I do know is I never go hiking out there alone. I have more stories that aren't as creepy as this one that have happened at this mountain if anyone would like. Okay, so here is another story about Red Top Mountain. B14. Searching for a missing man with parents and other family members. The man that went missing was a friend of the family. Dude actually went crazy and faked his kidnapping/death because he didn't have the balls to divorce his wife. This part is really irrelevant to what happened that day when we were out searching. Searching drags on for hours. Mum suggests going down a closed trail. Same trail previously mentioned in my last story that ended with an investigated murder. It's large enough to drive a car down. Dafook, you want us to do, Mum? Mum sends my cousin and I down to the trailhead to move large 50-gallon drums out of the way and to move the wire cable aside. Mum plans to follow in the car while we search the sides of the trail on foot. Thinking Mum is crazy. Cousin and I walk down the trail for half a mile when we realize the car can go no further down the trail. Mum is seriously crazy and tells Cousin and I to proceed further while she waits on us. You what? Cousin and I are walking down a trail, freezing, and the sun going down fast behind the mountain. Trail ends at a clearing. Cousin and I kinda spooked. Curiously proceed to clearing with caution. See huge circle where footprints had been made by walking in circles, almost a foot deep. See barefoot prints near the center of the circle. Walk closer to investigate and see stones in a circle around barefoot prints. Fire close by. Looked fresh, probably from the night before. Seriously feeling creeped out. Noticed the blood trail nearby. Crunch, crunch. Something possibly watching us. Cousin and I noped away. Ran a quarter-mile to the car and didn't look back. Tell Mum what we saw, and to drive us the hell out of there. Mum laughs and doesn't believe us, and slowly drives out of the trail. Mum told us to put back the blockade, and we tell Mum to seriously fuck off and drive. Mum is mad. Groundings were for disrespecting Mum. Later find out that a hiker went missing a couple of days before our encounter, unrelated to douchebag being missing. Mum is extremely sorry and feels terrible for almost letting us die. The sound in the woods could have been a deer or squirrel, but the whole atmosphere was off, and I didn't like it, and freaked out. By the way, the missing douchebag was found the next day chilling in Miami with some woman.
I have a few involving my big sis. Walking around sketchy part of downtown late at night with sis. Suddenly, some crazy hobo comes out of nowhere, asks us for cash. We legitimately did not have cash and tell him so. Guy starts mumbling, walks off. Suddenly turns around and runs at us. Goes for me, I jump out of the way. Sis smash, kicks hobo down, he grabs her leg. Bad move, all Russian girls are violent gymnasts. Big sis grabs him by the head. I just heard a crunch. Didn't even check on him. Ran while big sis was cursing at me in Russian to be a man and not to run like a woman. Be in motherland, like 6 at the time. Know almost no Russian. Decide to take a walk around town by myself. Stupid idea. Old dude starts talking to me, no idea what he's saying. Motions for me to follow, 6-year-old logic says it seems legit. See my sis run out of nowhere and headbutt him. Dumbass me asking her why she hurt my friend, etc. Get my ass whooped by her for being a dumbass and then taken home.
Be me. Be a Metro District response cop in Australia. A year out of academy and a little bit gung-ho still. Typical jobs: domestic violence, burglaries, stealings, civil disorder. Receive a priority job to assist a local car with a mental health escort. A paranoid schizophrenic meth addict has been trashing his mom's house. She is now scared of him and has asked for help. This guy is pretty nuts when he's on the gear apparently, so mental health case workers need help to get him to his facility. This guy has barricaded himself inside his bedroom and won't come out. Locals want to kick the door and get him out. Get to the house. Locals explain they've been negotiating with him for around 2 hours and they're not getting anywhere. Keeps telling them that he has a higher power watching him that will destroy us if we touch him. Negotiation is always the better option. Walk to the door and start talking. Introduce myself to him. Build a little bit of rapport through talking about his 8-year-old son. Eventually, negotiations degrade and he goes silent. Has a locked door and he said he'd moved bedroom furniture against it. He has a little window above the bedroom door. Really old house. Covered it with a sheet so we couldn't see. See movement in the sheet. It drops. He is looking at us above the door. Puts his finger to his lips as if to say, shh. He drops back down. Starts screaming hysterically and blood starts flying at the window. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He must be cutting with something. All 4 of us panic and kick the door, break the door at the knob, and it opens about 2 inches. Screaming stops. Adrenaline is pumping so hard. Try to peer through the gap, see a flash of silver. An ornamental sword flies at me through the gap, narrowly misses my neck by about 3 centimeters. Partner grabs me and pulls me away. Screw this, we need tactical response group. Call TRG, they rock up about an hour later. They come in and remove him by smashing the door and beanbagging him through the opening. We all move in together and jump on him. Blood everywhere. Pentagrams painted on the walls in blood. Turns out he had killed the family pet behind the door in the room and was painting with its blood while he was walking towards us. He started flinging blood at the window to try and scare us off. Mental health jobs are my least favorites now, and that job was actually pretty traumatizing.
Be 8 or so in the 90s, vacationing in Orlando, staying at a Radisson. It is summertime, but literally no one else except for one couple is staying there, it seems. Hallways are deserted. No one goes in or comes out except for my family. Mom, stepdad, baby brother, and this young couple. Staff is a bunch of Italians who give off a sinister vibe. Mother is insistent that this place is run by the mafia or something. One day the boyfriend asks us if we've seen his girl. It seems she went missing in the hotel when she went off to get snacks or something. I'm 8. It's foggy. Mother made the call to check out immediately. Staff is insistent on us not leaving. We finally make it out, and I am in the car. Mother says she forgot something and goes back in. Me and stepdad and baby brother wait. Time passes. Too much time passes. Stepfather goes in to check it out. I'm in the car alone for a while. See several men walk out from behind the building carrying garbage bags and suitcases and putting them into the back of a van. Stepfather and mother finally come back. Apparently a few of the staff had tried to block her from the door, making up some shit about having to pay for another night since blah blah, and invited her into the back room to sign something. Once again, memory is foggy. It didn't click until years later how sketchy the garbage bag guys were.
Don't know if it is related or not, but here you go. B14. Me and best friend live in the same neighborhood. Hang out almost every night that summer to be edgy, bored teenagers. Do stupid shit like throw rocks at cars, break into abandoned houses, etc. One day, friend says he found a high-powered BB gun in his attic. Decide to go shoot squirrels or some shit because why not? Ends up being too late in the day for squirrel hunting, and too many bugs. We get the brilliant idea of hiding in a field close to the road and shooting cars with the BB gun as they go by. Lay down prone in the field about 50 yards from the road. Impossible for passing cars to see us. Do this for a good 30 minutes. No incident. Many cars shot and lulls were had. See a ghetto Oldsmobile coming by and my friend fires and hits it. They immediately slam on the brakes. Oh shit. They pull off to the side of the road so their high beams are in our direction. Friend and I dive into a bush being pretty sure they saw us. Immediately after landing in the bush, we hear 6 shots fired in succession, and bullets go into the dirt where we were laying. Ghetto Mobile then peels out and leaves me and my friend shitting bricks for a good 5 minutes. Shit was pretty scary at the time. That night, we learned not to mess with groups of people in cars.
Got one. Nothing paranormal happened technically, but it's implied and spooky. Writing this now, so sorry if it sucks. Mum died when I was 7, was cremated shortly thereafter. Nana was grieving, so didn't know what to do with the ashes. Keeps them in spare room cupboard, because why not .png. 4-year-old cousin comes and sleeps in spare room for a week or so. Let's call her Belle. Keep in mind, Mum was killed when Belle was only 6 months old, so Belle couldn't know all about her. Ashes are still in the spare room because Nana is in denial now. After the week is up, Belle goes back to my auntie's, Mum's sister, starts talking about Mum, let's call her Jay, says things like, Auntie Jay wouldn't like that. Auntie Jay says that is bad. Auntie Jay told me about, insert scenario here. All around my auntie, who is still grieving my mother. Auntie yells at Nana because she thinks Nana has been talking about Mum non-stop. But apparently, according to Belle, Spoops incoming. Auntie Jay used to sit at the end of the bed and talk to Belle or sing to help her sleep. My face when Belle admitted to knowing Auntie Jay was gone. My face when asked what she looked like. She got her hair color, earrings, mole on her cheek, and length of hair, all spot on. My face when my auntie stored away all reminders, photos, old possessions, of my mum to try and cope with her death, meaning Belle could never have even seen my mother. My face when she even sang the same song to her she did to me when I was a child. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Never had another visit from Mother, even though my cousin has consistent experiences.
Be me. Be first grader. Be in crafts class, making wondrous pieces of art out of wood, nails, and glue. Can't snap my fingers, brothers are mocking me at home. Remember that, and how they explained how to do it. Try while pouring Technocoal. Glue catches fire. Wood catches fire. Teacher sees this and pours the flower watering can's contents on it. Bad idea. Glue tube rips, glue expands in volume and starts pulsating. Grows from around 40 grams to the size of a hearty pile of horse shit, flowing off the table. Teacher sends students to the opposite corner, telling me off, while holding a broom towards the horror, as if she needed to fend it off from us. Principal kicks down the door, uses a fire extinguisher. Fire department arrives. Parents arrive. Everyone is touching me looking for matches/lighter. None found. Sued Technocoal. Get money. Tried it several times since, but never could replicate the snapping thing. Though Technocoal still does the expanding thing if you light it on fire. Technocoal is a brand of glue. Google it. Pro tip, don't light glue on fire. Another pro tip, don't use water on fires unless it's wood. Use fire extinguisher.
When I was about 14, I went to a camp during the summer to learn web design. It was pretty great. We got to stay at some empty dorms at UC Berkeley. The oldest of us was about 17 or 18. Be in the dorms after learning a ton about HTML. One kid has some kind of disorder where he can't talk correctly, just somewhat sound out words. He sounds crazy when he talks, like how people describe skinwalkers talking. He drools uncontrollably. To make it worse, he's really trendy and likes awful music and wears snapbacks. I share a room with a nice calm guy named Noah. Near empty dorm is pretty creepy as you might expect. One night, everyone is sleeping. Wake up to banging and horrifying sounds on the door. We open the door. The kid with the disorder is like freaking out. He's trying to sound out a sentence. Finally, we understand what he's saying. A man is here. We walk out into the hallway intrigued and see the disorder kid's dorm partner looking scared. They say that a guy tried to enter their dorm room and then ran down the hall. When they looked out, they said they saw a figure run upstairs. We call cops and get our camp advisor people. Police and campus dudes roll up and search the place. They find a homeless guy. Later overhear counselors talking about how he was a documented offender. I just wanted to make websites. Little did I know I walked into a spook site.
First year in college. Get an honors program scholarship. Whatever. It pays tuition. Invited to live in scholars' dorm. Again, whatever. None of us are scholars. We're almost all assholes who get good grades because high school is a joke, but we never study. Drunken bike races in the halls, loud music 24/7, etc. School is pissed, and so are the few conservative kids. Anyway, we're all downstairs at 3 a.m. watching a movie in the common room. My roommate, Big Mike, has come out of his cave and joined us. We all hear muttering during the movie. Big Mike keeps getting louder and louder. No, no, no! I'm not a vampire. I'm not a vampire. No! I won't kill them. We're all uncomfortably looking at each other and mouthing, "What the fuck?" Or, "You heard that too, right?" This continued for ages. He never did anything, just ranting out loud with himself about whether or not he was a vampire, and if it was cool to murder us all. One day, mail shows up. There's an envelope for Big Mike. It's from a Tourette syndrome organization. So that mystery was mostly solved.
Be me 10 or 11 years old, walking with my father after dinner, in the evening. UK winter season, so it was dark outside. Not too cold though. On our way back home, and I look over the road at the opposite pavement, see a strange figure walking almost level with us on the opposite pavement. Father doesn't notice. Figure was looking straight ahead and was wearing what looked like regular jeans, sweater and sneakers. Figure looked male. However, notice something odd about this figure. It had a very pale pallor, almost completely white, including skin and clothes. Hair was a darker shade, greyish colour. But what was stranger was the way it walked. It walked with long, slow strides, arms swaying and hunched forward slightly. It looked as though it was gliding and walking in slow motion. Instantly, got a creepy feeling watching this. Did not know what to make of it, as I am a very rational person even as a kid, alerted my father. Looked away for a split second to ask my father who that was across the street from us. He knew most of our neighbours. Looked back, and the figure was gone. Father was uninterested. Continued walking, however. I kept looking over my shoulder and checking surroundings. Didn't hear any house doors open or close. Checked the parked cars, all empty. Could not explain where the figure went. Double-checked the houses. Kept thinking it must have gone into our house. But no lights were on in any of the houses. Major nope.jpg. Buried memory.txt. Come to /x/. Released suppressed memories.
Shit, bruh, that reminds me of an experience I had as a kid. But for the record, I'm from Florida, not the UK, so yeah. Be like 8 or 9. Mom would drop me off at the house after school and usually go and run errands, so I was home alone. After school, I'd usually grab a snack and watch TV. Be me sitting there, chilling, watching cartoons. Look over at the sun glare on the TV and can see out the window behind me. I'd usually just see the neighbor's house and my driveway. Some days I'd see a man dressed completely in white, with this weird white faint glow coming off him. He'd just walk across the driveway, locking eyes with me through the sun glare like he knew I was watching. I'd turn around to look at him and nobody would be there. Just shrugged it off as a door-to-door salesman or someone leaving a flyer on the door. Few years later realized just how creepy that was. This happened for I think a few weeks, then stopped, and I didn't have any more experiences at that house. But I did get uneasy feelings, and everybody in my family witnessed something weird at that house. Like my stepmom felt a hand rub her leg while she was laying in bed, and my dad was already asleep. And my dad himself said when he was taking a shower home alone, he felt somebody grab him forcefully while he was in the shower, even though the bathroom door was locked and he was home alone. And weird shit would just happen, like doors slamming and shit flying off. Counters. Okay, I know that got kinda off topic, but how you said you saw a man dressed in all white reminded me of that. Oh, and I forgot to mention this, but the guy's skin just looked like skin. Like it wasn't extremely pale or whatever, and his face was normal. He just looked kinda pissed off. Pick kinda related, like, that's not the same TV. I just found that picture for those of you that don't know about sun glare. I'm not sure if people that are new to the world exist, but I'm posting it anyways to be on the safe side.
Live in a small town of 300. We all know each other pretty well. One day, a woman ends up beaten. She'd gotten into a bad situation with some guy. A few days later, an old woman ends up in the hospital after being stabbed. We're all a little freaked out now. A third woman gets pulled into an abandoned home and stabbed almost to death. The police force is not trained for this. About a month goes by, 16 at the time. My boyfriend and I fell asleep cuddling on my trampoline. He leaves during the night, didn't want to get in trouble with his mum. Doesn't wake me up. I'm cranky when woken up. Wake up at about 5 a.m. The sky is getting lighter, and I hear someone walking around by the empty house next door. Don't think a lot about it. Wake up a little later to sirens and havoc across the street. Family is standing on the porch. The woman across the street was hacked to death with an axe. Tell police about hearing someone at the house next door. They find the fucker in there. Homeless man from a few towns away that went crazy. He had been hiding in there for over a month. Ugh, I was so close.
I want to get someone's thoughts on this because it still has me confused. Live in a small town in Texas, a little bit south of Houston. Watching the news with a few friends, something comes on about people seeing lights in the sky at a campground. Normal small town news. Campground is about 45 minutes away. Friends and I decide to go camp there for shits and giggles. Week later, we all go set up camp. Friends get drunk. Had a job interview coming up, so bud was out of the question. Stomach hurt like hell that night, so beer was out too. Skip to 2 a.m. Everyone goes to their tents. I stay up and walk around through the forest. See a few other people, but didn't surprise me with the news and whatnot. Eventually start walking parallel to someone about 60 feet away. Dark everywhere except for the small spot in front of me, my flashlight lit up. Eventually I hit a small road lit up by streetlights. Glance over at the guy. Same jacket, same outfit, same shoes, same hair. Everything down to my tattoos. No doubt in my mind I was looking at myself. We lock eyes. He starts heading towards me at a faster pace. Put 4 years of track and field into running back to camp.
I lived in a haunted house in rural Tennessee when I was a youngster. Be 10-year-old me, trying to sleep in my dark room. I kept it almost completely dark, aside from a dim green light behind my computer, so I couldn't verify whether or not something was really there. I have a chair across from the foot of my bed. Notice a figure sitting in the chair watching me. Whatever. I'm not spooked yet. Several nights pass by where I watch this figure for a bit before falling asleep. Over time, it begins to stand. Just watching and standing. I might be getting a little scared at this point. A few nights go by of it standing before it begins to pace. Tell my folks I'm not cool with this shit and would prefer to sleep. literally anywhere else. Basically, tell me to fuck off and deal with it. I'm trying to sleep, but I can't because this pacing is making me incredibly nervous. I've been watching it pace for hours now. The pacing begins to intensify along with my fear. Then it just teleports to the side of my bed, staring me in the face. It lowers its face inches from mine, black out, and wake up in the living room. I have nightmares about living in that house still. That was 12 years ago.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.